Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen, and we are going to be making a very tasty, flaky 3-ingredient pie crust. This is one of my easy go-to pie crusts. I love doing pie crust from scratch, and sometimes if I don't want to do all the rigmarole and all the work to make different types of pie crust, because there's so many. I got pecan pie crust, I have all types, but this one right here is an easy go-to 3-ingredient pie crust. And all you're gonna need today is some vegetable shortening, and I got this from Aldi's. This was about less than $3 for this. And you're gonna need some all-purpose flour. This is what I have here. And you're gonna need you some ice cold water. I always put cubes in it, and I like to measure it a little bit below what I need, which is a half a cup for 2 pie crusts, but I'm making 4 pie crusts because I'm gonna be using this crust to make some apple pies for Thanksgiving. So that's why I have the water a little bit below, so when the ice melts or whatever, it's going to be just right where I need it to be, and that water will stay ice cold. So by the time I get done doing what I need to do, I'll just be chunking that inside the bowl. I'll release the ice cubes from it, and I'm just going to show you how easy it is to make. I am using a fork. You know what, guys? All these years I've been baking, I've never got me one of them pie crust cutters. It's called the cutters. It cuts the dough for you. I've always used the fork. So kind of old school, but I think I'm going to invest and get me one of those. I don't know. Maybe so. And then I have my new Anchor bacon pie pans that I bought from Ross, and these are only $2.99, guys. Great investment. Glass is like the best thing you technically can bake in, and one day I want to expand my cooking utensils and pots and stuff to have only glass if possible. So I have 2 of those because I'm only making 2 pies. Now this recipe calls for 2 pie crusts, which means if you need pie crust just to put on top of something, or you just need a bottom of a pie crust, so that would mean you would have to double this recipe if your crust needs to be top and bottom, which mine does. So that's why I'm doubling it, so I can have 4 pie crusts, 1 for the bottom and 1 for the top of 2 pies. So let's get started. All right, I'm gonna go into this video and probably just do a voiceover from here on out, so that way you guys can follow along with me and see how easy it is for this to be made. Alright guys, so we're going to start off by putting our shortening inside of a bowl, and for each set of pies, which the recipe calls for 2 pie crusts, 2 bottom pie crusts. So if you're doing a double pie, this recipe will only make 1 pie. If you're doing like a pecan pie, open face pie, a sweet potato pie or something like that, this will make 2 pies. So if it's a double crust, this would only make 1. If it's a single crust pie, this will make 2. So I'm making 2 double crust pies, which is apple pies. So I'm going to be using double the recipe, which is 3/4 cup per 2 pies. So moving right along, we're going to get that shortening in the bowl. The next step is going to be, after we get the shortening in the bowl, we're going to put our flour in the bowl. This recipe calls for 2 1/4 cup. I'm going to put the first 2 1/4 cup in and break it up, what they call cutting the flour and the shortening together, and add water slowly to it. And this is the way I like to do it. After I cut it really well and get it to start firming up and looking like dough, I will then put the remainder of the flour in and remainder of the water in. That wax paper is going to be what I separate my dough balls in and put it in the refrigerator. So here you see I'm putting the extra flour and the extra water in, and then after that I'm going to start working all of this flour and everything in with my hands. It's so much better when you use your hands. It's like you can feel it and you know it's being kneaded together like it should be. So then I'm going to take this mixture out of the bowl and knead it some more with my hands, and then I'm going to break it into balls. Now we're going to sit this into the refrigerator. So what I'm doing now is getting it prepared to create 4 balls, which will be the 4 pie crusts. And after I do that, it's time for this to go apple pie, and all you're gonna need is what I'm getting ready to show you. You're gonna need about 2.5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, about a teaspoon of lemon juice. This is real lemon juice, 100% lemon juice from Dollar Tree. And I have a mixture of brown sugar and regular sugar, and that's a cup of that, okay? Then we're gonna have some vanilla, which I kind of put this in by eye, probably by a good tablespoon of it. I love vanilla in my baked goods. Ooh, 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 my daughter's over there. We need some cinnamon and nutmeg. That is the secret as well to that taste in your pie. And a tad bit of almond extract. I have some Pink Lady apples. Pink Lady, Honeycrisp, and those type of apples are really good for pies. I like my pie to have a sweet tart taste, so that's the kind of apple you should be looking for. So this Pink Lady is like a sweet tart tasting apple, and we get this big bag of them from Aldi's for like $2.89. So good still. Now, you already know the pie crust is in the refrigerator and it has to set for 30 minutes, which I forgot to put a timer on, and it's been in there for about 5 minutes, so put a timer on for 25 minutes. So we're going to fast forward by shredding these and making them like we like them for the apple pie. Me and my daughter is about to cut these, get these prepared for the pie, and we'll be back and show you how to make the mixture. So simple. So we're getting these apples cleaned up so that way I can show you guys how I make my apple pie. I usually scallop my apples. I don't usually cut them in chunks the way I'm doing for the video, but some people like theirs thick and chunky. We usually like ours pretty thin so they don't take long to cook in the oven, and I don't like a lot of filling in my pie. If you like more, you can definitely add more. So our apples are ready, and now on to adding all the mixture. So I'm going to put like a good tablespoon of vanilla in my apples. And then after I put the vanilla in, I'm going to put like a good half teaspoon of almond extract and about a good teaspoon of cinnamon, teaspoon and a half of cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of flour. And then I'm putting the cup of sugar in, but I actually did add another cup later. That's why I had to let you guys know that I put that in there. And then I put the teaspoon of lemon juice, and then I'm going to be adding my butter, which is about a good tablespoon of butter. 2 tablespoons of butter. And guys, I don't really measure. I've been just doing this for so long, so I can kind of give you eyeballs and tell you from what I'm putting in about how much it is. But guys, trust me, you really can't go wrong if you stick around those measurements that I'm giving you. So now the pie crust is done and it is time to roll it out. Make sure you put some flour on your surface so that way it does not stick and it rolls out nice and smooth for you. This rolling pin is a silicone rolling pin that I got from Aldi several years ago. I love it. So if you ever see them, grab them. They are worth it. So now I'm taking half of the mixture and I'm putting it into my bowl. I want to let you guys know I forgot to tell you about the nutmeg. Put a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg per pie. So that's a half a teaspoon for both pies. Okay. I forgot to put that in on camera. So that's it. I'm splitting these up in half and I'm cutting the remainder of the crust off. And I like to do different things with my pie crust. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Today I'm doing scalloped crust, and I'm just kind of layering it, making little circle balls, flattening them and circling them around the pie crust. And then I like to do something a little fancy in the middle, which you guys, if you don't see it through the sped up video, you will get to see it a little bit later when the pies are done. But guys, it is really simple, really simple, and I don't like to waste anything. Now I'm showing you how, instead of smashing them in my hand, you can take the balls, put them on the counter, and just roll them out. I took a little bit, a 1/4 cup of half and half and an egg, and I mixed it together and I just washed it, egg washed the top of my pies, and this is what they look like when they came out, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You see the little heart? I made it with love. So this is what they look like. You do not have to put any holes in your pies because your pie has scalloped edges if you decide to do this design on your pie. Because being that it's scalloped, the vapors and all the steam will come up through the actual scallop pieces of the pie. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you thumbs up, make sure you share. If you have any questions or you want me to make something else on my channel, please let me know. I will be doing more cooking videos and sharing them with you guys. Love you guys, and I will catch you in the next video. Later, Gators. If you were looking for your girl on social media, this is where I am at CPR for the Body. But hey, before you go, check out these great videos I have lined up.